Hello everyone, this is Dr. Shannon bringing you a message of hope today from the Inspire, and welcome back. I just realized I was going to drink some water before we started. Okay, hold on. I got so excited I realized it was 11:11. I'm like, we're on. Excuse me. Okay, so we're back. 11:11 live. So happy that you're here and grateful for the opportunity to speak into your hearts, especially today, being Sunday. I know for those of you that do like an 8:30 a.m. church or a Wednesday night church or a Sunday night church, you're probably here live. So grateful that you're here live. But for the rest of you, you can come back. You can watch us on my profile page, or you can watch it on Hi Honey, or you can go back to my website and watch it at drshannon.com. But let me tell you, the feedback that I've had this week has been really, really profound. Profound because, first of all, wasn't yesterday awesome? Dr. David Mason, what a great story, huh? Every time we think like, oh yeah, we can't do that, there's a story out there from somebody that says it is possible. Remember I told you before that impossible is actually I'm possible. So look for the possibilities in your life and listen to what you're saying. Because what you're saying will tell so much about what you're believing, and not only what you're believing, but what you're creating here in the now as well as the future. So I will tell you, I've gotten so many private messages and people reaching out about when I talked about the conversations that we have and how to become a master communicator. Well, first of all, make sure you drink a little water before you start. Make sure you drink a little water before you start, because you never know when you're going to start choking on yourself. But anyway, being a master communicator, I want to tell you that you've heard me say it before. Excuse me. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. People say to me, how Dr. Shannon, do you get in front of a camera and talk? I used to have a radio program. I talked for an hour. I could talk all day as long as I had my water bottle there, The bottom line is, hey Camilla, how are you? The bottom line is that out of your heart, your mouth speaks. So that is where I speak. I speak from my heart. If you do not like what is coming out of your mouth, it's time to take a look at your heart. And so the big question that I have for you is, what's speaking to your heart? Because if your heart speaks out, then what speaks to your heart? Most people haven't tuned in and become consciously aware of what it is that they're allowing into their heart. Instead, they'll be like, hey, first of all, completely unaware of what's coming out of their mouth. And then one day they realize it because they get enlightened and they're like, wow, maybe if I speak negatively all the time, maybe I'm going to continue to get negative results. Absolutely. I mean, there is life and death in the power of this tongue. And if you're not aware and you're actually not using that to your advantage, I mean, it is time to speak life over your day. It's time to speak life over your body. It's time to speak life over your relationships. It's time to speak life over your finances. But instead, we talk about what we do not have. We talk about what we can't do. I mean, think about it. Like from yesterday with Dave. He could have said, oh, I could only be the ball boy. Oh, I could only be the manager. Or, whatever. But instead, he loves the game, and next thing you know, he's out playing starting lineup as a walk-on. Okay, so I'm telling you, it's time to speak life. The words that come out of our mouth matter. But it's not simply going in and changing the words that we're speaking. We got to take a look at where are those words coming from. So what is speaking to the heart? The mind speaks to our heart. Did you know that? The mind speaks to our heart. So what are you focusing on, my friends? What are you focusing on? If you're constantly focusing on what you don't have, or you're constantly focusing on negative things, in time, what's going to happen is you're going to see that it goes into your heart, and now it becomes a belief. Because faith comes by hearing. You know what that means? We are starting to get a belief in what we hear. And if we continue to speak out stuff that we do not want in our lives, and we listen to things, we watch things, we hear things, we do things that continually bring more negativity into our heart, let me tell you, we got to watch what comes into our hearts. And not out of a fear, but out of a faithfulness to our own heart, out of a faithfulness to ourselves. How faithful and how trustworthy are you with your greatest assets? Number one, your heart is your greatest asset. Number two, your health. You know, how trustworthy are you with your health? But no, instead we continue to bring stuff into our heart. We bring stuff into our soul. And the next thing you know, we're wondering why we're sick and tired or broke, feeling broken. Let me tell you, today is your day. If you are not focusing in on what you say, what you think, and this one, what you feel, you're gonna miss out. What do I mean by what you feel? You know, everyone says, oh, your feelings don't matter, don't be ruled by your feelings. Well, let me tell you, your feelings do matter. You know, but there's a big difference between I am fill in the blank and I feel fill in the blank. You know, your feelings are not your identity, but remember this, your feelings will help you to discover your identity. Your feelings will help you discover who you are. Thank you so much for watching, Dr. Mark. You know, your feelings will just help you discover who you are, but instead we go, I feel, and it's usually a negative feeling. And then what we do is we take drugs or we take whatever to get rid of the feeling, or we shame ourselves, you know, into not feeling that way, or we blame others for how we feel instead of owning how we feel. Like, I feel this way, and own it. Even say, it's okay to say, I feel, even if it's negative, I feel, but there's a big difference between I am miserable and I feel miserable. And then tap into what is it? What is it that I feel? And where is this coming from? And what do I think about that? And what am I saying about that? Let me tell you, if you want to heal any area of your life, you got to begin to feel in that area of your life. We've been going through life completely numb, completely unconscious, completely asleep. It is time to wake up. It is time to become enlightened to the consciousness of who you are. And when you do, you will see that you are your greatest asset. We, my friends, are the greatest asset that we have. And then think about this. Not only am I my greatest asset, but the best part is if I meet with you and your greatest asset, which is you, and we begin to come together and collectively connect, like minds, like hearts, coming together and saying, hey, how do you feel? And really asking and meaning it, and then begin to uncover in this discovery process that is so much better than recovery. If you want true restoration in your life, and you want to have true abundance in all areas of your life, it's time to start uncovering some things, discovering some things about you, and healing from above down, inside and out with truth. With truth, my friends. I hope this is helping you today. You know, I had another person that reached out and they were like, hey, loving the videos, but when are you going to tell us about why you love 1111 so much? Well, I'll tell you. It's a long story and I'm going to condense it into this. 11:11 is my favorite time of day. And the reason why it is because a dear friend of me told me about years and years and years ago when he was hurt in a wrestling accident and he got paralyzed. And in the middle of the night, you know, he had family, friends up there all day. Everyone's praying for his healing. In the middle of the night, he woke up. He saw all these hands like glowing. Like this is like kind of like an unbelievable, miraculous time. His whole room's glowing. He notices on the clock it says 11:11. He gets a miraculous healing. And from that day forward, he said, I'm going to tell you this story, and I'm going to tell you from now on, around 11:11 or 1:11 each day, what's going to happen, he said, is you're going to see it, you're going to notice it. And he said, for me, I see it every day. Like I'll be busy doing my stuff, I don't know what time it is, and all of a sudden he sees 11:11 on the clock, and it reminds him of his healing. I will tell you that was over 2 decades ago, and it still happens to me all the time. And what it does is it reminds me that I am not alone. So, why did I choose 11:11? Okay, it's a great time of day, but also 1 and 1 do not equal 2. They equal 11. It's an exponential number. When you begin to honor the one that is you, and the one thing that matters most, which is your heart, and you begin to honor that, and you begin to come together and honor other ones, watch what happens. This is a place where miracles can happen. This is a place where I pray to God that you are reminded that you are not alone. You do not need to do life alone, my friend. So watch what you say, watch what you think, and pay attention to what you feel. and heal at levels that you've never healed before. Hey, I want to tell you, next week, Saturday, I'm going to do a live, it's not a webinar. Yeah, it's a live-inar. I decided to name it that. I thought I came up with it, and then I Googled it, and I guess somebody else is talking about a live-inar. But we're going to be doing a live webinar, a live Facebook Live webinar. So you want to tune in. Hey, Todd. Hey, Denise, you want to tune in because this week I will be talking about it, and I'm going to tell you where you can go so that you can get some resource material prior to the live-inar. And I'm telling you, this is going to blow your mind because so many people have been reaching out. And they're like, how do I get engaged with my life? Well, we're going to find out where you are, and we're going to help you get back fully engaged with your life, fully engaged head and heart, so we can see the miracles that are never ending and exponential. Because you know what? We all need each other. All of us need each other to show up fully, because that's why we're here. We're not here only for ourselves. We're here blessed to be a blessing. All right, I hope you got something today. Please give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone that you love, or even that you may not love, but you're like, hey, that person needs to hear some truth today. Okay, I appreciate that so much. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. This is Dr. Shannon, inspiring minds that want to know and hearts that want to grow so you can love your life well.